Yeah. We are back. Um, for another one. Miami, the Boogeyman versus the Celtics. This is game three, folks. Miami has taken full control. We're gonna talk about it right after this. Man, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to put the link out. But anyway, I did put link on YouTube. So if you want to come on over, the link is there. We're here to talk about those Miami Heat. Man, I tell you, who's seen this? Okay, I'm about to put it on Facebook here right now. Who's seen this coming? I don't think nobody's seen a thrashing like this coming. I mean, me myself, obviously, I overshadowed. I overlooked the Miami Heat. I said they wouldn't even get past the first round. Boy, was I wrong. But it's all right. It's all right to be. It's all right to be wrong, as long as you can come on here face to face. You know what I'm saying, and show. I messed up. Yeah, I can. Ah, I can say that. I'm okay saying I'm wrong. I don't have a problem with that. That's all right. That's all right. No, but we're gonna go over the stats right quick. Nobody's having a blazing game, but somebody's having a terrible game. This is crazy. Um, Man, so the Celtics, Tatum has 14, 6 for 18, not efficient, 1 for 7 from the three, 1 for 1 from the line. I can already see right now. I haven't watched most of the game. I did watch starting in the second quarter, but I'm gonna tell you, based off the stats, what I see. 10 rebounds, that's pretty good. Jalen Brown, 12 points, 6 for 17 from the field, 0 for 7 from three. Uh 6 rebounds. White 9 points. Nobody's efficient on this team so far, except for Robert Williams. He has 8 points. He's 4 for 8, and Gary Williams has 6 points. He's 3 for 5. Um, Miami Heat side. Vincent lead all scores. Yep, 23 points, 9 for 12, efficient. 5 for 8 from the three. Man, he might have just hit another three. 23 points. Jimmy Butler, 16 points, 5 for 13 from the field, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Bam, 13 points, 4 for 5 from the field, 5 free throws, 5 for 6 from the free throw. Jimmy Butler, 6 for 7 from the free throw. Stratus, 10 points, 2 for 2 from the line. Martin, 15 points, 6 for 10 from the field. Lowry, 4 points. Robinson, 10 points. Zeller, 4 points. So, what I can see right off bat by just looking at the scores is that Tatum and Brown not being aggressive. I don't know. Look like they're selling for the J. They're selling for the three. Um, man, killing them. They haven't been aggressive. I see Jason Tatum has one free throw and Brown has 0. Matter of fact, I don't know. I don't know if this is like what's going on. Only Marcus Smart has 5 free throw attempts. So the whole team has a total of 5, 6, 8 free throw attempts, while the Heat, on the other hand, has 14, 15, 16, 18 free throw attempts. I don't know if that's referee play or not aggressive. But man, look like we're a collision course to have. I mean, man, well, I don't even know if the Heat was the Heat in the playoffs without the Can somebody answer that? Was the Heat in the playoffs without the play-in? You know, I haven't been a friend of the play-in thing. I do know they lost. Oh man, I knew they lost their first game in the play-in. So I'm not sure. I'm not honestly sure how to play it even works for the most part. But I do know they lost that game. I wasn't even counting the Heat on winning any series. I think I had Phoenix and in the West and not the East. Can't remember who I had. Maybe Milwaukee or something. I don't recall, to be honest. But man, this is a thrashing. This is a thrashing, and but look like both teams about to. Well, obviously the Lakers are down three. The Nuggets up three. And look like the Miami Heat are about to be up three. Hopefully, to be honest, hopefully both teams can close it out in Game 4. Vince, I mean, what do they find these guys? What does Miami find these guys that want to work the workhorses, the guys that say, okay, I didn't get drafted or I didn't get drafted very high, but I'm about to show out. I'm about to show up and show out. Then come down and hit a three like that right there. They just, oh my God, 83 to 112. Duncan Robinson just hit a three. And those type of threes are the threes that the old school people don't like. When you come down on the fast break and you just shoot a three. Um, that's that's one they don't like. But man, in today's basketball, that it just is what it is. Um, the Miami Boogie-Man got to be more careful. Um, let's see. What is it? 83 to 112, 83, 93, 03, 13. 29-point lead. Wow. Man, I didn't see this coming. Especially how the Celtics went to the finals last year. Got 2 wins. Then also, if you think about how they put it on the Brooklyn Nets last year, won that thing in a sweep 4-0. And then you come lay down like this, but I can't call it a lay down because at that point you discredit the Miami Heat and what they've been able to do. So I'm gonna stop discrediting the Miami Heat and give them boys all their credit, Mr. Jimmy. Mr. Jimmy, you know what? I'm gonna have to find this video where Jimmy, when he was in Minnesota, and how he talked to them boys. You know what I'm saying? We might have to play that because we gotta do something. I mean, talking about the game, they ain't worth talking about now. The way Miami putting it on these boys, man. Eric Spoelstra. I mean, this question is Eric Spoelstra the best coach in the league? I mean, obviously, he's been back to the finals since LeBron is gone. So we can't say that. And he faced LeBron in the finals. They didn't beat him, but obviously, does this say, man, coach of the year should have been all kind of stuff? Wow, this is amazing. This is amazing to see. This is the type of basketball you like to see because it's like the underdog. The ultimate, I mean, they're like the ultimate underdog. They have one all. I don't even know if Jimmy Butler made the All-Star this year, but he's an All-Star caliber player. So I don't know if Bam made it this year. He's a borderline All-Star caliber player sometime. Um, but it's interesting to see. Maybe the Miami Heat win the championship. Let me see. Let me see if I can um bring that up. Uh Jimmy Butler made the All-Star team. Let's see if I can bring that over there so y'all can see it. I'm not looking at this by myself. You know what I'm saying? That's interesting to see. That's an interesting note if you ask me. Um, Whoa, Nelly, babe. Oh, come on, buddy. Come on. He Jimmy Butler on the NBA All Star was a snub. Jimmy said he was happy to get a vacation. Wow, wow. So right there, Jimmy Butler on the NBA All Star Game 2023 snub. Jimmy said I'm happy to get a vacation. Jimmy Butler has been discussed as one of the biggest snubs in 2023 All Star Game. Miami Heat doesn't seem to mind. Wow, Wow. No Miami Heat player made the All-Star game this year. Wow. And if they go and win the championship, when was the last time? I'm eager to see now. When was the last time a team won the NBA championship without an All-Star or even been to the finals? Let's go see that now. Let's go see that. When was the last time a team um let's see. When was last time NBA team won the finals without an all? Let's see. Let's see if I can bring this over there so y'all can see what I'm looking at. Also, you know what I'm saying? I want y'all to see. I want y'all to see what I see. There we go. Let's see. Since the NBA implemented the salary cap prior to the 1984-85 season, only 5 teams have won a championship without a player making the All NBA first team. Detroit Pistons 89 90. That's not what I'm looking for. I said the I said the finals, man. What y'all doing, man? What y'all doing? There we go. Maybe that's it right here. Which NBA teams have won the championship with no All Stars on the roster? What are you doing? Let me get back over. I'm trying to blow this up so y'all can see it. Miami Heat about to make history. Let me go back over here. Only 2 teams. The 1950 Minneapolis Lakers didn't have an All Star until 1951, and the 1999 Spurs. What? Since there was no All Star game because come on. So really, I mean, Tim Duncan probably would have been an All Star that year. Who knows? Maybe David Robinson would have been an All Star that year. And I'm talking about the '99 Spurs. The '99 Spurs team won the championship. I think they won the championship. Yeah, they had to win the championship. Um, have ever won a championship in a season in which non-players? Let's see. And the '99 Spurs. Yeah, the '99 Spurs did win the championship. Yep, that was Jordan's first year after they broke up the team. So, wow. So no team since 1951 has won the basically has won the championship without an All Star. And the Miami Heat might do that. I don't think Bam made the All Star game, and I'm saying that without fact checking myself on Bam. But that is since 1951. So if the Miami Heat come win this thing, they're gonna make history. I mean, we need some more history to be made. That's what we need. 3 minutes left, 90 to 118. Um, I don't even know what happened. Oh, my bad, Cole. Let me give you the new link, Cole. Let me pass over the new link over there. Get the yeah. That is absolutely crazy. I got to root for the hometown team. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't. I mean, man, I don't even know what to say, man. I don't even know what to say. Hold on. Hold on. Andretti Deuce, what's going on, sir? Hello? He didn't even know he was on. Yeah, I hear
Can you hear
you.
me?
Yeah.
What's up? What's up? You see this blowout going on right now?
Oh my God, man. Honestly, I was in the bed and I fell asleep. Oh Lord, let me get up. I come in here to this thrashing. It's
It's
the
been weird.
Miami Boogie-Man. That's what I call him.
Jimmy Butler he's cutthroat, man. That boy
This
cutthroat.
is- hey,
He don't give a damn about nobody.
yeah, I put up a stat. Well, not a stat, but I just found this. The only two teams in NBA history, the 1950 Minneapolis Lakers didn't have an All Star, and the 1999 Spurs did not have an All Star and won a championship. And the only reason the Spurs didn't have an All Star, because that's the year Tim Duncan, David Robinson played, was because they didn't have an All Star game. So if the Miami Heat win the championship, this will be the first team since 1951 to win a championship without an All Star. Got to be more careful. 47 points. Oh, this ain't 47 points. 94,
I
31
think it's
points.
kind of weird. You have Jimmy Butler not being an All Star, even if he's not putting up the numbers. It's just silly. But I mean, Gabe Vincent's the one that's really going off. He's got 6 threes, 29
Yeah,
points, 3 assists. I mean, the whole team's playing well. Duncan Robinson shooting well. I
yeah,
mean, that was the worst case scenario for
exactly.
the
The whole
Celtics.
team.
Yeah,
Oh, come on. Yeah, the
yeah,
whole
the
team.
whole
Come
team
on.
all. Yeah, that was the worst case. I mean, and the Celtics they showed signs that they were struggling early too. I mean, I don't know. Some people were optimistic about them, but
Well, I ain't gonna
I don't
lie. I ain't
know.
Heat to do nothing. I ain't gonna even lie. But I did say,
You didn't think the Heat were going to do anything?
no, not in this playoffs. Before the playoffs, when I was calling my team, I said, no, they ain't gonna do nothing. See, Mr. Ryan
I just thought
and
the
the
Heat
NBA,
and
especially
Nuggets were
for
the
the Heat
two
chances
hottest teams.
of the NBA Finals to 5%. 5% improved the Heat chances. That must be wrong.
No, I honestly think I thought the Heat were one of the more talented teams coming into the playoffs, and they kind of got hot at the right time too.
Kinda.
Personally, I thought
They
so.
lost their playing game.
Hmm?
They lost their
No, but
playing game.
they weren't even in the play-in, and they got into the play-in tournament. Which is what I'm saying. Just like with the Lakers were one of the hotter teams going into the playoffs. Like
Yeah,
people
yeah,
don't really pay attention to that, and I kind of do because, like, even when you look at the Warriors, they started the season hot last year, and then they went into the postseason hot once Steph came back from injury.
yeah.
So
I
you
did.
kind of have to pay attention to that because, like, the Nuggets came in hot, the Heat came in hot, the Lakers came in hot, um, and then Boston also is playing well, but they're just hit and miss, man. Like Boston, they either have it or they don't have it.
Yeah, but going through all the shit they went through, the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations with their coach and all that mess going on. I mean, they still played good. But I guess
Well,
maybe that
some
was more
guys too
practice.
don't understand how to affect the game on both ends, and you can
Yeah,
clearly see that is what is winning championships nowadays. Like you have a team with one superstar, and yeah, the Nuggets do have Murray and Porter, but for the most part, you're gonna have a team with one superstar and then pieces around that guy, and they're gonna play defense. I mean, you can't beat the Lakers and not want to play defense and then think you're gonna win a championship. Like that's just
yeah.
the
That's.
the Celtics. The Celtics don't want to play defense either. Like it's fucking insane.
But it's crazy because I thought about that earlier. Because the Celtics played a hellified defense last year on KD. And got to the finals also. Um,
That is true. That is true. But I think KD KD was overhyped in my opinion, and he's been overhyped for a while.
you might be right
You
about
know,
that.
I think KD's the type of guy that has to get the spots, on the floor and stuff, and he's very good at doing that. But I don't think his IQ goes further than that. And like I said, the best players affect both ends. Like,
Yeah.
like people be like, oh, well, Steph Curry's not all that great on defense. Well, he's not, great because he's not tall enough to block shots and shit like that. But he gets steals and he plays good fundamental defense. You know, so it's like it may not be flashy with Steph, but it doesn't mean he's bad on defense. He still plays defense. He's got to.
Well,
He's guarding.
I totally agree. And but I also don't think KD don't play no defense either. I mean,
I
I
think
just think
KD is like LeBron. He hides on defense.
he might hide a little bit. Honestly, I haven't paid attention to that. But I just think KD has a specific thing he does, and when he can't get to that, it's over. He's done. And
If
also,
KD's not scoring, that's the biggest problem is, and this is why I'm so high on Kawhi Leonard when he's healthy. And I will always say this, and Big Baby always like talk shit when I say this, but Kawhi to me, well, he doesn't talk shit. I think he agrees actually, but to Kawhi to me, when he's healthy, is a top 3 or 2 player in the NBA
I agree
because
100.
the way he's able to affect both ends
Both ends,
is
yeah,
Kobe and Jordan F. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And
I
there's not
agree.
many players that can do that. Like what I'm saying, like the only player to me that I've seen able to do that has been like Kobe, Kawhi, Jordan. To where they're just, Brandon Roy was on his way to being able to do that,
Yeah.
and he just got hurt. But like, just be the best player on both ends of the floor. It's rarely seen. I mean, Giannis can do that at times, but it's only when he's got a jumper.
Well, honest, Giannis, he could do it definitely on the defensive end. His offensive game is just kind of limited at times, and I think that's what hurts him. And I do not be want to call out Giannis, but I think that's what at the end of the day that really hurts him.
Okay, but so I agree with that statement. But my end point to that is I'm starting to be able to throw Jimmy Butler in that category as one of
Oh yeah,
not the same level of talent
yeah,
necessarily, but one of those guys that when he wants to, he can be the best player on both ends in a game.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
talking
definitely.
about he can be on the floor with a LeBron James, a Giannis, a Joker, and still be the best guy on both ends of the floor. So that's special. I would have to see it a little bit more, but because I can't really say, okay, this Boston team is as good as they were last year.
I mean, yeah, it can't be,
Because they don't have a defensive player of the
and they
year,
don't have the
right?
coach, and they don't have the coach.
Yeah, they got this rookie coach who kind of walked into a good a good situation, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if he ran Ime Udoka's whole offense and defense. He just copy and pasted his whole playbook and just said, "This is what we're gonna do." He's running the same plays because this
Um,
man has not been able to make any adjustments for this Miami Heat team.
Man, I don't know if you heard this interview yet. I kind of want to play this interview with. You remember old George T? He was teammates with he played in Minnesota for a little bit.
Oh, you talking about Jeff Teague?
Yeah, Jeff T, my brother. I said George, didn't I? I don't know if you
Yeah,
seen
I
the
seen
interview.
that. I seen that. I seen that. When he's talking about Jimmy,
Yeah.
talking about Hemi Butler.
Yeah, well, I don't. He can't. He was talking about the controversial day in practice.
Yeah, the practice where he whooped them niggas with the G Leaguers.
Yeah,
That shit really happened. Niggas thought shit was sweet.
yeah, that
Jimmy
shit
had
was
to go
fun.
ahead, and then how he cut the hole out of the shirt and the pants and shit.
Yeah, and then they said Jeff T said
Nigga
after
ran
he
out
won,
and did a fucking interview.
they did it.
That nigga crazy. He texted racial niggas, "Hey, I got an exclusive."
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But
man.
they say
I like
also
Jimmy.
him and old girl was messing around. They claim in the bubble.
Shit, I wouldn't be mad. That's Jimmy's kind of girl. Kind of racist, you know. He loves that.
A cowboy.
Feel like
Really a cowboy.
feel like he doing one for the gang, you know.
There's a baby doing the bubble.
He think he's doing one for black people, knocking her off, bringing her back to the black side, you know. I don't know, man. I do think though, on a real note, I think we have a lot of overhyped basketball players in the NBA right now.
Yeah, we do. Definitely do. Definitely do.
It's
You know,
like
you have stars and you have superstars, and I think the stars have started to get mixed up with the superstars, and they're not superstars yet. They're just nice players, and they haven't hit superstar potential. I
like
mean,
okay, I
they
can
might have
understand like
superstar potential, but they aren't superstars yet.
I can understand when you have like guys like Luca and Ja and Zion, right, and Trey Young, who they're flashy guys. They do flashy shit. It looks cool. You know, there's
But
a
they're
whole
not
narrative
superstars.
behind that. But to me, they're not superstars. Like to
Right.
me, like for Kevin Durant's not a superstar. Like he had a window to become one, in my opinion, but him never winning one with his franchise that he was drafted to, that automatically takes some of the prestige away from what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes the prestige away from your career. Which here's the thing. So this is how I try to say this. People, Jordan set the bar, right? So now everybody's career is stacked up to that. If you can't accomplish some of the things that he had, like some of the basic things he accomplished in his career, you can't be a superstar. Like if you can't win a championship for the franchise you were drafted to, you can't be a superstar. It doesn't make sense because superstar players change franchises. They bring dynasties. Tim Duncan came in and won 5 of them fuckers and won
Yeah,
one on the way out and beat a prime LeBron James to do it. And he should have beat him twice.
twice. You beat him twice. Lost to him once. Not just prime. That first 4 years may not be prime LeBron. I don't know what people. Well, some people say he was the best player in the league at that time. I
No,
disagree,
the fuck
but
he wasn't. Kobe
uh,
Bryant was the best player in the league since he was 22 years old. The fuck are people
I
talking
mean,
about?
I agree. Kobe was the best player. I don't agree with LeBron was the best player in the league, but I'm gonna disagree with you.
Kobe should have won 10 MVP trophies in his career. If you look at the league, who was even on Kobe's level consistently when he was
Well,
winning those first 3 peats? And then even after when he was winning with Pio. Come on, man. Like who he won with Pio
at that
Gasol
time,
averaging 19 and 10. People don't even understand how crazy that is. Your second best player is averaging 19 points and you win a
well,
championship?
that's what people don't. And that was Scottie Pippen, by the way, also. But
Yeah, Scotty averaging 8 or 10 points. Like and people be like, oh, he had a Hall of Fame. My nigga, they're Hall of Famers, you know, and top 75 players because of who they played with, not because of
yeah,
what
yeah,
they did.
exactly. There's levels to this. I think Dion said it. There's levels to the Hall of Fame.
There's levels to it. Like Draymond is a Hall of Famer. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna slide him. He's a Defensive Player of the Year, but he's going to be a Hall of Famer because of Steph Curry. He
Of
won a
course.
Defensive MVP because of Steph Curry, not for any other reason.
I'm gonna kind of disagree with you on the KD stuff though. I think KD is considered a superstar. I mean, and I understand your criteria.
By
The only
popularity,
the only thing is, like KD was considered like the man. You know, now I agree with you also that because I've heard you talk on the podcast that really Steph was the man on that team, and I agree with you. But
I think
other people,
Westbrook was more of the man in OKC. That I said that too on the podcast.
he was definitely, and I agree. Now knowing that now, as I look back, how hindsight is 2020. You seen it then, I didn't see it then. Um, but now, like I've been saying for the last 2 years, KD is a beta. But when you're talking about basketball, before the Achilles, he was definitely that. I mean, he's still considered a superstar outside of.
No, he's a
I think
great talent.
I think he's just a star right now. but before the Achilles, I think he was definitely a superstar.
No, he had superstar potential, but he couldn't win like a superstar. Like that's the thing. Like you could be a superstar talent. John Morant is a superstar talent, but is he going to put in the
Yeah.
work that like Steph Curry and Kobe and Jordan and these guys put in, and LeBron James to be a superstar player, or a Giannis or a Joker? Like there are
So
superstars in the league now.
right
So there were only. So remember, I had a very limited amount of superstars the last time we talked about this. So I'm going to say a superstar. I'm going to add a couple players to my list of superstars now. So you had LeBron, you had Steph, right? You know,
yeah,
I said Kawhi was a bubble guy because when Kawhi's healthy, he is a superstar caliber player. But problem is he
agreed.
hasn't been able to keep it together. You know, so he's not really. We're not going to throw him in there because of injuries, but we're going to throw Giannis was in there too, and then now we're going to add the Joker, right? We're going to throw the Joker in there,
Yeah,
100%, and then Jimmy Butler, Himmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
And why I say that is Jimmy Butler literally makes Miami money in the playoffs. He makes that franchise relevant when it matters the most. Like him alone right now has resurrected that franchise since LeBron James has been there.
Yeah,
And
correct.
he's doing it with a bunch of guys. A bunch of
Yeah,
guys right now. You look at Bam's numbers, until this year, he was averaging like 17 and 10.
yeah. I
No
don't even.
championships, no defensive player of the year, no rookie of the year. You know what I'm saying? He might have some all defensive selections, but not a Hall of Fame career, right? He's doing it with guys. It's
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah. I mean that also goes to the coaching staff as well. Now Jimmy's your leader, so you have to have him um doing everything that's needed because you can't forget about last year when him and Eric Spoelstra was going at it a little bit too. You know what I mean? So
We said get these motherfuckers right.
but
Is what
Jimmy
he was
has to be
saying.
on board, huh?
He said get these motherfuckers right. This ain't Minnesota.
Yeah,
So
the
we can
ball.
trade you back if these niggas gonna act like that, you know?
Yeah. I don't know what was said necessarily, but I mean, I know Jimmy's on board with what's going on though. So, when
Well,
Giannis
yeah,
had
look at them. They're about to go to the
all that
finals,
stuff,
man. They're about to go to the finals. I mean, they got a pretty decent squad. Tyler Hero's probably gonna come back in the finals, which is big. I
oh, so he'll
mean,
be coming back. Yeah,
I think so. I think he's gonna come back healthy. Oh yeah, back to that superstar list though. Yeah, that'd probably be it though for superstars.
how many
Honestly,
you
there's
got?
only a
Sound like
few.
5.
So I
Jimmy.
got Steph, LeBron, Giannis, Joker, Jimmy. Kawhi, if he can play healthy for a year, would be in there. Um, I don't have KD on there. I'm gonna tell you this: people are not gonna like that I put this guy in there, but I took one guy out. Um, I'm actually gonna put two, and they're on the same team. I'm gonna put Kyrie. I'm gonna put Luka. Now, the reason why Luka is gonna be in there is a lot different than everybody else. Luka is an international player, and he was already an international superstar before he even came to the United States. So Luka will be in there by default, but Kyrie Irving, when Kyrie Irving is playing basketball, he's always in the playoffs, which means he's a winner. But then again, also he's must watch basketball. Like if Kyrie Irving is coming to play basketball in your city, you're gonna want to watch him play.
Yeah.
Like you might see a Sports Center top 10 highlight watching Kyrie Irving play. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just it.
Oh yeah. So with your list, I'm gonna alter it a little bit in my opinion. I think
Okay.
in my eyes, KD is no longer a superstar. But I believe in the eyes of the media and the eyes of basketball fans, majority, KD is a superstar. So I'm going to take
The
Kyrie off that.
casuals. You said the casuals. I mean, like I said, Kyrie is a very like just like Luka. He's not really on my list, but people just like with KD for you, they're gonna want to put him on there just because of what they've done in the past, So
Yeah, I mean, I just think that the whole controversy, like, and I like I'm not mad at what Kyrie did or didn't do, but in my eyes, yes, he's a superstar. But in the eyes of people, I don't think he's considered a superstar. But I do think Kyrie's considered a superstar, and Luka is considered a superstar. But I think we might have to
they
add
wouldn't
one.
be on my list though. They wouldn't necessarily be on my list though. Is my point. But
No, I
for
know,
for like society and the way everybody else views it, like what I'm saying, like because Luca's hasn't won shit, you
correct.
know, not even MVP yet. So for me, it's like it's hard for me to throw him in there.
Well,
Kyrie, yes,
they keep
he,
comparing them to LeBron
and you know
and
what?
Jordan.
This is what
What
I
they
tell
did
everybody.
in
I
their career.
tell everybody that LeBron play style is not conducive to winning championships. I will say it again. When you are not leaving teams to build super teams, the I'm going to rely on everybody else and not take control and be the guy for my team just does not work. Jimmy Butler's a prime example of that. You give him a bunch of fucking undrafted players who are hungry, he will take them to the finals time and
Yeah,
time again.
I
you
agree.
know,
I don't agree. I mean, I agree that
because he's going to be the tough shot maker and the primary, he's willing to be the tough shot maker and the primary defender on the best guy on the other side of the floor.
correct. I agree with that. And I don't think the LeBron system is conducive to winning either because it's just a him system. Get in the lane, dish it, or take a shot. Dude. I mean, that's basically what it boils down to. Um,
And then you know
and-
what the fucked up part is too? It forces the other superstars to play one-on-one basketball for their
exactly,
offensive possessions. Like AD will go
exactly.
one-on-one now. It's like, nigga, what? I can't get a pick. I can't come off
Yeah,
a screen and like get a smaller guy on me. I gotta just go one-on-one with the best like big man on the other team. Like that's crazy.
but that's what I said when I was trying to talk about this to baby. It was like, okay, when KD was with the Warriors, the ball was moving, get to him, then it stick. He was playing 1-on-1. And I mean, obviously they won 2 championships. They still were the best team in the league, and they probably would have won three they would have won three if everybody was healthy. But that ball was sticking when it got to him a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times for him to make a 1-on-1 move. And I think that really kind of actually hurt them, but they were just so good that it didn't show and people couldn't see it.
It hurt them the following year when he was gone because they had gotten so used to just being like, all right, we don't have to be so perfect within our offense that we can just rely on him to bail us out late in the shot clock. And then once he was gone, they had to figure out, for one, they had to figure out their bench again so they could get guys
Yeah,
that fit what they wanted to do. But then also get back in that scheme and that rhythm, like, okay, we got to be perfect with our reads and our passes and our cuts and our motions and stuff like that and our screens. Which with KD, they could be a little bit lazy because he could just shoot over people with 3 seconds left on the shot clock, standing out the key, waiting for the ball to come to him.
exactly. Yep.
So it's just like with the problem for him with being on Phoenix is that's not what like he's going to be standing there and everybody's playing iso ball and there's no offense really rolling.
Then the same thing that happened when James Harden went down in the Nets or when he got traded.
And people don't even understand. Like James Harden was more important to that team than fucking KD was, because James Harden and Kyrie were hooping and literally fucking doing their thing, and the offense was fine. It wasn't until KD came back is when they started having problems, and
Yeah.
there were less shots to go around, and but in all reality, like Harden is a facilitator and can initiate an offense, and he can still also score, but he's a facilitator. KD is one dimensional. He's going to score. He's going to play decent defense, but he's not going to anchor your defense. He's not going to make any spectacular plays on defense. Like, and that's where I think like that superstar narrative with him was just kind of overhyped. He won one MVP Like, we gotta be real. We gotta be fucking real. Like, what are we talking about? Like, this dude is
Well, who he was going against at that time? I mean,
Steph
man, I
has
mean,
two.
Steph had them pick 2 years. Russ had that year. They don't want to. They act like triple doubles don't matter after the first one he got.
Dude,
Um,
Russ is like a
James
whole.
Harden.
Russ is so good. It's on a. Russ is like so good. No, effort wise,
Yes, it's
but
just sometimes. Well, his shooting ability is. God, I didn't know it was that bad, but man,
if they just, do you know what though? The problem is people just they don't play to his strengths.
well, no, they don't. They don't. They want to come in and play what they want him to
Like
play and how they
every
want him.
time Russell drives to the basket, there should be someone diving to the basket with him, so he can pass it
Yeah.
off if the defense is crap.
Well, you
You
could
know what?
see it, and with the
Hmm?
Clippers that it actually was working again, and obviously when it was at OKC and then with the Clippers it was working.
Oh, it was working with the Clippers. Paul George and Kawhi just got hurt, and then he was
Yeah.
forced to do everything by himself. But no, I don't disagree with you. Like the Lakers just didn't want to use him how he needed to be used, because of LeBron James.
That's why I give LeBron so much flack on that because in the bubble they was leaving dude like really wide open, like 10 feet off of him. They dared him to shoot the ball from the three. And then you go get him, but yet and still that's the type of player you need on your that's not the type of player you need on your team because you are him and you need somebody that'll hit threes and deep, you know what I'm saying, deep threes and stuff. So I don't even
Well,
know
that's
why he even got Russ. The only thing I can
that,
think of is if they would have won the championship, he could have been like, I won Russ a championship. You know what I'm saying? That ego.
I mean, even if he won the championship now, Russ would have still got one.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he wasn't on the team. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, he'll get one
he
because he
still
was on
won one for
the
Russ though.
team. Yeah,
No, but I feel you though. I mean, in all reality, man, LeBron definitely boxed that up, because he should have known getting Russ with that contract he's got that you have no wiggle room to even get more shooters to space the floor for you guys, like
exactly.
consistent shooters. Like you're going to get league minimum shooters and expecting them to do something. Like that's not that's not how you win a championship. Like you need to get guys that you know are going to knock down shots.
Yeah, well,
And that
I think he thought the team was good enough. I think LeBron thought the team was good enough, or unless
nah,
he was
man.
straight out trying to sabotage Russell, and maybe that's what it was. He was trying to sabotage Russell because I don't see any other reason. He wanted the man on the team.
I think he thought he could get him, get some value, just like raise his value, and then trade him.
Well,
The
maybe,
problem
maybe.
was though, he didn't understand that the LA media was going to be so brutal with Russ that his value was going to go down. So instead
Yeah,
of being able to get more for him, they end up getting less than what they even traded for him in the beginning. Which that's a
yeah.
mistake on LeBron. He overplayed his fucking hand. You know, I mean, you can't sit there and be trying to play GM as you're playing. Like we were gonna get Buddy Healed and someone else, but yeah, we ended up getting fucking Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, who was the other person? I know they're trying to get Bradley Beal, Buddy Hill. Um,
It was
felt like,
Buddy Healed and Miles Turner, which two great pickups. Would have been
oh
two great
man, I'm
pickups by
so
the way.
happy, Miles. I'm sorry, but I'm happy. Now, once LeBron leave or retire, I'm all with the Lakers. Go Lakers. But while LeBron on that team, I was so happy because I think he been trying to get your boy the center from what's his name? You just said his name.
Miles Turner,
Miles Turner. Yeah, I think he's been trying to get Miles Turner for a hot little minute, and I'm so happy he ain't been able to get him. LeBron.
bro, that guy, that Miles Turner kid, you don't understand. He's still young, right? He came into the league very young at like 19. He's still young. He's a stretch five. He's led the league. He's been like top in the league in blocks. Like he's a
Oh,
very good young player.
oh
He's
yeah,
just like they don't even ask him to do a lot offensively, which he can do a
but he
lot
can.
offensively. Yeah, he can. He's got like an AD type of like offensive game, you know. It just kind of pisses me off we didn't get him because we listened to LeBron James be a dickhead. Like LeBron, you've wanted to get this kid for like ever since you came to the Lakers, and the opportunity came up, and you chose Westbrook over the person that you've wanted since you came to LA. It doesn't
I'm
even
so
make
happy
sense.
y'all ain't kidding. Because I feel like that would have been multiple championships. To be honest, I ain't gonna even lie. I think he's that good and that good of a compliment with LeBron that it probably would have been better to have him than AD, and then put the pieces around him.
We could have had him and AD, had two twin towers down there.
Yeah, had him play the five and AD play the four, which he wants to play. Yeah, that would have
And
been
then you're
dominant.
not. There's no one beating you. There's no one beating you.
No, no
You're out rebounding everybody, offensively,
rebounding,
defensive
shot
rebound.
blocking. You can tell right now when the guys go to the lane, they trying to avoid AD from the shot blocking. So now you got Miles Turner in there, AD on the bench, then AD come in, Miles Turner. Oh man, that would have been shit. Oh yeah, that would have been a nice run that I would have hate to see.
Oh yeah, it would have carried LeBron to 6 rings.
Yes, I definitely believe that.
Then I would hate to see it, but I'd love to see it as a Lakers fan.
Yeah, like even
That's
like
a,
people don't understand like when the Heat was together because I was a D Wade fan. When the Heat was together, I was rooting for LeBron, but it allowed me to see more of his flaws too. You know what I'm saying? Like what? I was rooting for LeBron in the Heat.
there's just
Sorry.
positions that LeBron gets in on a basketball court that his game is so limited, because of how physically big he is, that you just know if you had another superstar with a different skill set, they would necessarily be able to kind of make a play in that situation that he necessarily couldn't make, you know what I mean, or doesn't
Well,
make,
I think that's
scoring
only the
wise.
that's a fact, but I think only because he limited himself. I don't believe LeBron has worked on his offensive game in a hot minute, to be honest.
I
If he
don't think
do,
he's
he doing
added
all the
pieces
same
to
thing.
it.
Huh? That's what I'm saying. Worked with Hakeem, then he quit that, according to what I seen. He hasn't gotten any better. You know, they got the video of him dribbling between the legs. It looked funny. Then he shoot the ball and hit the side of the backboard. Come on, man. Just
Like you see a lot of you see his shooting has been this shit, and I understand he's 38 years old, but the thing is, you can't sit here and praise him when he's playing good, and then fucking the shit on him when and then say you can't talk bad about him when he's playing bad. Like no, you got to be able to fucking call it how it is. And like he's been playing good, but he hasn't been playing great. They're like, oh, he's averaged 22 points in the playoffs this year. It's like, okay, that's good, bro. But like compared to what he's done in the past, that's not too far.
that's
And that's not going
exactly,
to win you a championship. That's not
and
going to win
that's
you a
what
championship.
I was explaining to Big Baby. Like, look, this man haven't like even the whole thing with old boy. He want to poke the bear and all this stuff. He still didn't get 40 points. I think we broke it down the other day. He got like 30 points once in this whole playoffs. This playoffs. And I'm like, the man still didn't get the 40 points. So
Right.
yes, they got torched, but still, he still didn't do what he said he was going. Well, I ain't gonna say he said he was gonna do it, but he still wasn't able to get to the 40 points, regardless. Kobe, Jordan, hell, T Mac. I think those boys they would have went after 40. Now they might be crying the next day because they hurt, you know what I'm saying, sore or whatever. But they would have went after 40.
I
And I
mean, the
guarantee
highest
you,
points he got in that series, I think it was like 32 or 33 points in like game three or something like that. I
yeah,
mean, LeBron is a great player, man, but we got to stop moving the needle just to like push him in this GOAT debate. Like, we got to stop doing that because there are guys who won way harder rings you know what I'm saying, and took way and had like a way more difficult path to achieve their 5 and 4 rings than LeBron has. Like people don't even understand this. Like Steph Curry had a harder path to get his 4 rings than LeBron did.
Exactly. But
Like
people
Steph Curry, he went through like years of like not winning to get the rings that he got.
damn near
And
getting
I think
traded.
right. And then I think people don't understand like too with like Kobe and Jordan and Dirk and like all these other guys, like when you like when if Dirk wins, let's say if Dame wins a ring or Bradley Beal wins a ring, like that ring means so much
So
more
much
and holds so
more.
much more weight because of where they won it at and how they won it. You know, just like Steph Curry's 4 rings hold more weight than LeBron's 4.
Exactly. But
Steph
people
Curry,
don't.
all his rings match the same franchise, all the same logo on every one. You know,
I think they just get emotional when you talk about their favorite player. I mean, it is what it is. Like when they go talk about Jordan, Jordan only played baseball because he got kicked out. That's probably true. I believe that, but that still has nothing to do with basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like
or
they
what
get
he
him,
achieved. Yeah,
you know
it's
that,
nothing to do with what he achieved.
huh?
Yeah, exactly. They talk about stuff that has nothing to do with what he achieved because in reality, if you look at Jordan's resume, he has a stretch unlike anybody else in basketball. Like he's got a 12-year stretch in basketball where it's like, whoa, like this dude was next level. Like he achieved all this within like a 12-year span, you know,
Yeah. Well, I
all
think Kobe
first team
would have had that same
selections.
stretch or something similar if Shaq wouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? If Shaq would have stayed in shape, Lord have mercy, what them boys could have done. And if they didn't argue or whatever the case may be, Shaq, even on his
Kobe
down year,
pushed Shaq to his best, to be his best,
huh?
100%. Kobe pushed Shaq to be that player that he
He
was.
was trying to,
Like
and then one
Shaq was lazy until Kobe like pushed him to be, that
got out there,
motherfucker.
LA, and Shaq is probably honestly one of the biggest disappointments in NBA history, to be honest. Um, and that might be saying a lot. But when I say somebody who was pretty much healthy, I'm not talking about like a Greg Oden or something like that, but somebody who was pretty much healthy his whole career, somebody who could have, I feel, could have done a lot more. Um, Shaq is probably that guy, man. Just because his dominance, how big he was, and and
Yeah.
and, and everybody's been documented. Kobe told him, come in shape, come in shape, come in shape. We can win more, and he didn't come in shape. Then when he goes to Miami, he only played what 2 years, 1.5 years or something. He ended up getting traded, and it was all downhill after that. After that time in Miami, it's all downhill, and it's just
Well, they
man,
had a weight limit rule. You had to come in like with a certain amount of body fat and all this shit.
shot one with it.
You know, I mean, that's
And
why
that's
Shaq
been
has
his
four and
problem his
Kobe's
whole
got
career.
five. Kobe got 5 rings for a reason. I mean, Kobe went back to back with no Hall of Famers on his team. A bunch of guys.
Yep.
A bunch of
Yeah.
guys, man. You know,
And and I'll
he
be
beat
saying the
great
same.
teams to do it.
I'll be saying the same thing. Like people only think about the second three-peat the Bulls had when they had Dennis Rodman. I'm like, y'all didn't think about the first three-peat, did you? Like, oh, they had all them Hall of Famers and this and that and the other. I mean, I don't even know how
People don't
Tony got in
understand.
the Hall of Fame. Huh?
People don't even understand how hard it is to
Yeah, I mean,
go to do a three-peat, to do a three-peat twice. Like
go off and
that's
play
next
baseball,
level.
come back. And Jordan was literally getting his ass whooped when he was good playing against Detroit. Them. I mean, then he's going against Boston, who has, I think they got 5 Hall of Famers: Robert Parrish, McHale, Bird, Vinnie Johnson. I don't think Danny Age in the Hall of Fame, but one more person. Anyway, going against that buzzsaw every year, and the Bulls were trying to tank. Jordan was like, "No, that year he broke his ankle the second year." Milwaukee had good teams then, but Moncrief they had, and then literally on the thing it talked about how Jordan was with them boys. What they call them the cocaine circus. Come on, man.
People don't even understand like what Jordan was doing. People try to knock the competition he was playing and try to like play it down, but in all reality, when you look at like the teams he played, like those were good teams. Like those weren't bad teams. Like the East was very strong at that time. Like
Exactly. And in the
most of
76,
the team they were winning most of the championships at that time. So
yeah. I mean,
like
if it
it was
wasn't the
very
Lakers,
competitive.
it was somebody in the East winning that thing. And you had Detroit, you had Milwaukee, you had Boston, the 76ers with Dr. J. I think he retired. I think they won that thing in '83. Man, with so many teams back then, and Jordan didn't have shit on his team.
Yeah, but people don't look at that. I just like, oh, he had Phil Jackson, he had this, he had that. I mean, you have to understand.
Phil
Phil
Jackson
Jackson
wasn't
won
nobody then
championships with Phil Jackson won championships with two of the greatest players ever. You
of all
know,
time.
like he had great players when he won those rings. Like like great players make great coaches. Like Tim Duncan, David Robinson made Popovich. You know
Popovich,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like those guys, yeah. Do they have to manage personalities and all that shit? Yes, they do. But in all reality, like they had great players, and those
Oh
great
yeah.
players won them rings, hit big shots, you know,
You
had big
know,
moments.
they were coachable. You know what I'm saying? You got to be coachable also. I mean, Jordan had to listen and say, hey, if you want to win, you got to play like this instead of playing like that. That's probably one of the reasons you're not winning. Outside, you ain't got nobody on this team, but still.
Well, they too, like I just don't like LeBron's philosophy. Like
No, I
I feel
don't either.
like he's above reproach when it comes to like basketball IQ and stuff like that.
I've seen some of the
Personally,
dumbest.
person,
Oh, go ahead.
personally to me, it's like it's almost disrespectful to some of the coaches he has that have been around basketball for as long as they've had. Like I always talk about that David Blatt situation in Cleveland. Like I felt like
Mhm.
that
Well,
was
it's just
just that was nuts. To fire a coach with the best record in the NBA is insane.
and LeBron could have went to damn near any when he left my. I mean, when he left whatchamacallit, Cleveland the first time, he could want to play for almost any coach he wanted to play for. And that's
Well,
all
that's
LeBron
my
called.
thing. Like he could have went to any franchise and like went somewhere where he could have built like a dynasty or something, and he chose not to do that. And then people
Exactly.
were like, "Oh, why do you hold him like he's his own dynasty?" It's like, bro, he didn't bring a dynasty to any franchise he was with. Yes, he won two in Miami, but he was talking about he was going to win six there, and he was going to be there for all this time. And if you're saying you're going to win six rings, that means you plan on re-signing with that team.
Yep. He didn't put nothing together. Didn't bring no dynasty. Didn't bring anything.
He won
I mean,
two
they
rings,
did chips, but
lost two, and then he left when he couldn't get his way.
yep. And that's the difference. That is the difference.
And now he's get his ass fucking took by the Nuggets. Ain't got no fight, no
I hope.
heart.
I so hope they. I hope they finish the sweep too.
I hope they don't.
No, I want them to finish it because just hearing
I
them
hope he has
boys.
a. I hope he has a 3-0 comeback.
No, I won't get that sweep because then all you gonna hear. Well, he 38. So
No, I'm gonna be 38 if he don't fucking do something. He's been looking very average, man. Like seriously, when you watch the game, there's no way you can tell me that's the same player. Like okay, okay. Oh, he rolled his ankle. Well, I mean, he looked average before he rolled his ankle. He didn't
yeah.
look good
Well,
with the,
they always got a damn excuse though. God, oh, that shit be pissing me off. He ain't. You hear Shannon Sharp? Yeah, he ain't look the same. Skip for the last 2 weeks. I think he hurt his ankle. He hurt his lower back. He did it. Man, come on, man, stop it. And then he it's been numerous times. I think it was one game they were up 3. Shot clock. I mean, I don't know. It was time on the shot clock anyway. This man shoot a 3. It's late in the game. I'm like, why the hell did he shoot that 3? It was dumb. And then the end of these games, he's having turnovers left and right, missing deep threes left and right. Like, but people, man, people don't see that, man. But the
He was
thing is,
0 from 6 from the three.
there's a whatchamacallit. I'm gonna send you. I think I'm gonna put it in the group thing. But the dude sent it to me. It was JJ Redick talking about LeBron doing this and doing that, and his shooting percentage and all this. I'm like, that's not his true shooting percentage. His true shooting percentage is like 38% or something,
Right.
and everything else was but he's getting layups. Everything is layups. That's why his shooting percentage is so high, because it's layups and dunks. But his true shooting percentage is like 38%, man. Like, these guys, they be killing me.
Well, but that's the thing. I mean, he doesn't shoot jumpers well. Like the only time he does good on jumpers is when he gets to the low post, and he refuses to go down to the low post. It's like, bro,
Matter of fact, the
and,
last game or the game before last, he went to the post and it was effective. But then they switched out to a zone to keep him from the post, and then they couldn't. But they were still playing decent because they were hitting threes. But but then
well,
they
yeah.
don't.
Now you opened it up for everybody to hit threes, but when they close it back down again to clamp up on the threes, now you go back to the post. It's like
Yeah.
he's a high IQ player. He understands what he has to
Oh
do,
yeah, he definitely understands it. Yes.
but he's sitting here and he's trying to like play. He's trying to do something. See, this is my biggest problem with him ever since he came to the Lakers. And I still say that AD should have won the MVP in the bubble, but LeBron tries to like do hero ball now, which he's never done, and he tries to hit these big shots and shit. And it's like, bro, like that's not your game. Like you never would try to hit the go-ahead three-pointer. You know what I'm saying? Or you
Well, he
know,
has to now. He has to make up so he can win the MVP or win the Western. Now they got this Western and Eastern Conference Final MVP trophy and all this mess. He has to do that now because he can't get to the lane. He's not fast enough. And then and I think they're starting to call that push off that he be doing. Maybe not, but he can't get
no,
around these.
he's elbowing niggas. He's not even pushing off. He's elbowing niggas, man.
Yeah, exactly.
He's literally like giving a jab step elbow, and they're calling it, and they should call it because it is a foul. I mean, you can't elbow niggas. You just can't elbow niggas like that, man. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, he's been doing that mess since when they came back down 0-3. 0-1, whatever, 1-3.
You know what though? I mean, he's got to change his game. He's got to understand like the way he's playing has not been helping. It's been hurting. And he's got to stop shooting them 3 pointers. He's got to stop trying to shoot all these damn like pull up jump shots.
I
You
think
know,
it's too late.
you're not Steph
I mean,
Curry.
I think it's too late for him mentally to actually, what I'm saying. What did Jordan do? Jordan got older, developed the fadeaway. Kobe developed the fadeaway. If LeBron would have done that, there's nobody that can stop it, even today in the league, outside of Joel Embiid or somebody big like that. If LeBron did that, he could extend his career probably another 2 years or so. But he won't do it. He wants to bring the ball down and handle the rock and all this stuff here, play on the perimeter. That shouldn't be his game. He actually needs Phil Jackson right now to put him in that triangle.
LeBron, you know, he I understand why he developed an outside game and why he tried to play like a point guard and all that and whatever. And he said he used to watch Magic, not really Jordan like that growing up and all that shit. And You see a lot of that in his game. He developed a deep ball late in his career, but man, let me tell you, like if he really like developed a little post game and actually like took the time to like gain the footwork and stuff, he could have dominated later in his career so much more than he is doing now. I mean, it, even now he could be way better than what he has been. And I get it. When he's going downhill on pick and roll, yeah, he's dominant. But the problem isn't that he can't do that. The problem is he's got to like conserve his energy and play more efficiently. And you can't do that if you're dead ass tired in the fourth quarter because you've been
Exactly.
doing pick and roll all game. you know.
Yeah.
I watched him dribble the ball off his leg. Like it's just like, dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, they put him on Jamal Murray, and this is where the the Warriors failed. Whoever he was guarding, he should have been running around the court everywhere. Jamal Murray had that man running everywhere. That shit didn't last long when he was on Jamal Murray. I mean, even if he's effective to stop him, guess what? You got to keep doing this all game. That shit ain't gonna happen. That's why they switched Schroeder back on him.
Oh yeah, Jamal ran him off a few screens, and then LeBron was like, "Okay, yeah, we're gonna switch." He's like, LeBron started switching them, and when LeBron started switching them off on people, everybody, everybody got confused, and the Nuggets ate him up.
They couldn't
But
handle it because it's like, okay, what's the point of you, LeBron, guarding him if you gonna let him get the easy switch? That
well,
ain't
yeah,
that don't,
LeBron,
that don't help nothing.
yeah, LeBron, if you're just gonna let him get a bucket, then we might as well put someone else. But see, that's what happens when you build a team around a specific player, and then that player is a liability completely on defense.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, you
I
can't.
think what needs to happen really, LeBron needs to cut his minutes down, get the minutes down to the maybe the high 20s, and actually play defense. I mean, that's probably what needs to happen, and probably needed to happen in these playoffs.
I think so. I think
Playing third.
because I think Hachimura has to play heavy minutes and probably play 20 minutes to offset LeBron's. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
because they play similar in a sense. So in my opinion, that's what should definitely be the case. I agree with you. Set his minutes down. Listen, we need you to lock up. That should have been the adjustment after game one. Game one, I'm like, hey, listen, brother, they're literally hunting you on defense, and you're not holding up. So we're gonna go ahead and cut your minutes down. You're not gonna run. We're gonna have someone else, run point, and we're gonna pick your spots.
yeah. I mean, the triangle it'd be perfect with LeBron because you just sit in that triangle on the offensive end. You ain't doing much. Then you come down, you play you some defense, then you go back down to the triangle. That's
Well,
perfect.
the triangle is a lot of like cuts and
What? Yeah,
pigs,
but he won't be the one cutting really that much.
back doors. Yeah, I mean he could be the pick guy, and that's even more dangerous. You know, in my opinion, having his big ass like rolling to the basket.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right. That's probably where he needs to be, simply because he's a freight train anyway, and that's what he's used to doing, regardless.
Yeah, have him be the screener, have him roll, and then he can make plays and do whatever he has to do right there from inside the paint. He could hit little floaters, jumpers, dunk on
Yeah,
somebody.
and
I
you're
mean,
right
he
there
has
in your
to.
gravy train, right where you need to be in your gravy train. Short
Mm-hmm.
jumpers, layups, dunks, all that good stuff.
And then it limits how much he has to do defensively. I mean offensively, so then he can go on defense and then actually pick up where he's slacking. Because
Yeah,
he plays good defense at times. Don't get me wrong, but it's like we need more consistency from you there because you're giving up a lot of points. Like you can't be negative in the plus minus. and be the second best player on the team. Like that's just crazy.
every damn game. People want to
Every game.
discredit plus minus. I be calling it out all the time. It's plus minus. Damn, last year he led the team in negative on the plus minus. And I'll be like, nobody don't care about this stat. Y'all make up something about this stat, but that stat means when your ass on the floor, your team is losing.
Yeah, like you're literally like you're counting. You're the reason.
Yeah.
Like you're literally like like the main reason why it's happening, and that's why I'm so confused.
Yep. But people,
So
they want to ignore
confused.
the plus minus. But Steph
No,
first plus minus is always damn near positive, even in
yeah,
losses.
because he plays efficiently on defense, and
Yeah.
people are like, oh well, LeBron has blocks. He has chase down blocks. It's like, dude, like that's not real defense, bro. Like
Yeah.
you're literally coming over and playing help defense.
Help defense. Yep.
It's cool. It's great when you get the block. But when they kick it out for a three, 60, 70% of the other times, you're fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, and those plays aren't a good sign of good defense. Those plays are a sign of you got beat to the rim, and someone made a good play on the block. Like it's just silly shit, man. When people
Yeah.
talk basketball, it's like, dude,
They just look at it because it's their favorite player. They don't look at it and actually analyze it. Like tonight when I got on, I didn't watch most of the first part of the game, but I was like, okay, Tatum had one free throw, and uh old boy had zero free throws. I say, well, they're not aggressive. They just jump shooting all day. There's no way in hell going into the fourth quarter, Tatum and Brown should have one free throw combined.
see, and that was a good thing about the balance last year with their team is you would have Jalen Brown going to the rim most of the time because his jump shot wasn't all that, consistent. And then you
Mine
have
was
Jason Tatum shooting threes.
Dude, they had one
This,
free throw. Even
see, that's just
anyway,
that's you know that's poor coaching. There's been a
yeah,
lot of poor coaching in the NBA this year, in my opinion. And people are surprised all these coaches are getting fired, but it's like, nah, there's been poor coaching. Like, there's been shit coaching. When you look at these teams and these rosters, like, year after year, you have the same teams losing. Like, no. Philadelphia losing, can't make the Eastern Conference Finals. Doc Rivers had to go.
well, I
you
knew that
know,
was coming. I called that from jump. They're gonna lose some kind of way, and Doc Rivers is gonna get fired. You can ask, Big Baby. I've been saying that.
Milwaukee losing last year in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then losing this year in the first or second round.
Yeah,
Budenholzer, you knew he was gone.
yep,
I mean, people are like, oh man, it's surprising. It's like, nah, the main shit surprising about any of this shit. All this is like predictable. These coaches are underachieving.
yes, sir, yes, sir. So, I'm about to jump off this thing. I'm gonna give me a little rest. But
All right.
on the next game, Lakers play tomorrow. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's another thing too, though. I called it out. I said, why in the heck in the first round are the Lakers having 2 nights off? They was playing 2 nights off, then they'll play. Everybody else, for the most part, was playing every other night. And like, I can't remember who it was, but one team had already played like 5 games, and the Lakers was on like game 3. I'm like, how the hell this happens? But I think the league
Oh, the
was trying to
Warriors.
give LeBron a rest, if
It
you
was the
ask me.
Warriors.
Huh?
It was the Warriors.
Yeah, it was
They,
it was more than just the Warriors. Though. It was round 1. I'm like, how the hell they playing every other night? Or they would play like Sunday, be off Monday, Tuesday, play Wednesday. And one time, I swear they had 3 nights off. Maybe not, though. I might be exaggerating now. But the first round, I think they every game they had 2 nights off.
Yeah, no, they were playing the Warriors, and no, they weren't playing the Warriors. They were playing OKC, I
Memphis,
think it was,
no, they was
or
playing Memphis.
whatever. Memphis, yeah, and yeah, they what they swept Memphis or they beat Memphis in five, and then but they were having like 2 days off in between some of their games and stuff, and then they rested. It was just weird the way they were able to rest
It was
before
weird.
before the Warrior series. Like they had like 3 or 4 days off, and I'm like, that's kind of crazy.
Now they can't get that rest. Now that's the day.
Well, I mean, they did get rest after the Warrior series. They just still look tired as shit, man. They look terrible.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I
they look
mean,
tired.
eventually it's gonna get you. It's gonna. They was dog ass tired. They beat the Warriors, but the Warriors tired their ass out for real. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
seen
mean,
LeBron and AD bent over, tired.
that is true. Yeah, no. I mean, look, if you look in the Nugget series, man, they look tired.
Yeah, now
They
they're
look.
looking tired, but I think they got tired from the Warriors series, and now the Nuggets just piling it on. Them boys young,
Well,
so
yeah, they are piling it on, but I mean, if you look at LeBron, even after the first game, like after the first when it came to like the first time out, he was on the fucking bench huffing and puffing. I'm like, oh god.
yeah, there's something about that. Like, yes, you're 38 years old, but I feel like the endurance, um, like I think you'll be tired, like you'll be sore, more sore. Your body aches more so than your lung capacity, and I don't think LeBron probably does that. Whatever training he was doing for his lung capacity, or maybe them steroids, maybe he's because he off them steroids right now, or what? But allegedly, I guess that's allegedly. Yeah, he ain't sued old boy about it, so I guess he won't sue me about it. Um, I don't know what it is, but you can definitely see it.
Well, it's just weird to me because like he looks thicker, like his body mass is like it looks thicker on like when he's playing basketball, like rather than when he's like taking pictures, you know. And it's just like, okay, like he looks super jacked when he's playing basketball, but then he's taking ESPN pictures and then he looks super skinny. And I'm like, okay, what the hell is going on
Or
there?
should be the opposite.
Yeah, or it should be the opposite. And I'm like, that's weird, man. I'm like, that's really weird.
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe it's because he's just for like the camera from a distance, but mm, that, his conditioning is, I don't think he can distance personally. I
well,
highly doubt he's running.
right now I don't think he's running, not like he used to.
Yeah, I just don't think he's running anymore. I don't think that's in his workout regimen.
Yeah, yeah, I think I think really because I heard him in an interview. He was just like he just want to play with his son. I think I think he's dialed it back from all the workouts and all the stuff he used to do. Now he's in Hollywood. Now he's following his sons around trying to, what I'm saying, be at their games. His daughter's getting older. um I think he's playing more of that father figure, which I'm not knocking him for that, but I think it's more of that, more so. And he's just not that he's not taking care of his body. He's still eating right and stuff like that, but he's not on the workout regimen that he used to be on. I don't think so.
See, what my thing is with that though, I just think like I respected Kobe because he knew like I'm not saying you shouldn't balance. I do think you should balance, but it's like if you're not going to dedicate the time to play at your highest performance, you know, then you should just retire.
Kobe's a different animal. We can't we can't put him in the category because Kobe is gonna be like, look, yes, I'm married. Yes, you're my wife, but I got what he I'm 38. I'm gonna do this. So you know what I'm saying? And this is how I'm gonna do it. Kobe's an alpha male. So coming to his wife explaining what's gonna go on, I think it's very different than LeBron explaining to his wife what's gonna go on. Now I'm not saying like Savannah's interrupting anything. I'm not gonna say that, but I am gonna say that I think he's just trying to interject himself in a lot more things um than what's warranted. Then he has to, so to speak. And maybe he think he has to. I don't know. But Kobe is going to do what Kobe's going to do to try to win, to try to be the best Kobe Bryant he can possibly be. And I think that's the difference.
Well, no, but I mean, Kobe still tried to do shit with his family and stuff like that.
Well, of
But
course.
the thing is like I just he was still like present with his kids. But I just don't think if LeBron is basically saying like I'm basically gonna start focusing more on my family and like basketball is not gonna be my top priority. It's like, bro, then that it's you basically saying like I want to like you know
And
focus
that's
more
what
on
I'm
that.
saying.
It's like he should just retire. And there's nothing wrong with that, dude. It's like it's like trying to push so you can play with your son. I mean, it just seems like you're trying to make sure use your leverage to make sure your son gets the NBA, and that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like Kobe didn't take care of his family, whatever the case may be. I believe Kobe, whatever regimen he had, he continued to have it. And he did carve out time for the family, but I believe with Kobe, it might be a day or two. You know what I'm saying? He might not spend much time with him. Then he gonna spend time with him. I don't know. I'm just making this up. But that's why I think it kind of go with LeBron every single day, more so, what I'm saying, he's with Bronny or Lil Bryce or whatever his other son name is. And it's taken away from basketball. Where Kobe, I don't think he allowed it to take away from basketball because when his children start getting older, I think he already had that stuff implemented. And I think that's the difference. And obviously this is
Okay.
all speculation because I have no damn clue. But
I don't know. I'm mad. I'm all for him trying to do everything with his kids and
well, of
stuff too.
course,
I
yeah.
think that's cool. But it's just you got $1 billion franchises like investing into you basically and hoping that you're gonna come through. So I just hope he's able to like focus and deliver on that second championship because he's down
Yeah.
3-0 right now, and it's not looking good. And
Yeah, I hope
his
he don't
son's
focus
going to
on that championship.
USC. I wish his son would have went out of state. Personally,
That wasn't gonna happen. That's where
I
they
just wish
that's
it
what
would have. I just wish it
like
would have what happened. Send him to Duke. Let him go to Duke.
that would have been great for him personally. That would have been great for Bronny to go to a program like that, even though what you call them retired, but still a prestige. I mean, I'm not saying USC isn't prestigious, but when we talking basketball, I think Duke way before USC, North Carolina, any one of them school, Kansas, something like that. Before I think USC,
Well, yeah, that's my
USC in the
point.
South,
Going
but
to Gonzaga, like a true basketball school,
yeah, that's what I'm
um,
saying.
and to me, it would have allowed. Not saying like he shouldn't be involved with his kids' stuff, but I just think if like from what you're saying, if he's talking about like he wants to like focus on that stuff more than business and basketball, then it's like, all right, bro, you need to go ahead and just have your farewell tour and let the franchise know they need to start figuring out what to do after you because this is just
Yeah,
because your whole franchise is hostage doing that shit, and that shit's just not cool. If you're not willing to invest 100%, then just let it go.
yeah, but I mean, right now he has he has an argument saying, "Oh, y'all wouldn't get rid of Russ, y'all wouldn't get rid of that first round pick, and we made it to the Western Conference Finals." You know what I'm saying? So as of right now, he has an scapegoat. But we'll see what happens next
Nah,
year.
he wanted Russ. He says that in
No, I
that
know,
meeting. I'm
I
looking at
know.
him. I'm like, you wanted Russ. I'm not giving you that nonsense. Don't try to chase your, don't throw that on me because that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. So
No,
don't
but
try to
that's an
fucking.
scapegoat he can use in the media.
Oh, I mean, he could try, but the media is going to eat him alive with that. They're going to be like, well, the reports say that you wanted Russ.
Yeah, I mean that is true. But
Shannon
Rich
Sharp
Paul
confirmed
and,
it.
and, and his people are gonna figure out a way to twist that thing up. That's what I think. And people are
Well,
gonna run with the narrative. Shannon Sharp, he gonna call Shannon and be like, "Hey, say that." Da, 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 da. He gonna call whoever else he need to call on ESPN, his homeboys, and tell them to say this or say that. That's what I think. And they're gonna push that narrative.
yeah, his media team is pretty fucking phenomenal. I'll give him that. He has a phenomenal PR team and media team. It is actually next level, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how he does it because he controls all the narratives.
Yes, sir.
You will not hear
Control the
bad
narrative.
things.
He put them together, and well, I ain't gonna say he, but his team, and they run with it, and the shit works. It flat out works.
You just don't hear bad things, man, about LeBron's moves. Like all his moves, honestly, should be looked at like in such a different light than what they have been. And his media team, his PR team has literally pushed out narratives so well on social media that
Yep.
they got people pushing him in the GOAT conversation. Like, it's just crazy.
Yep.
So,
And
what is it? He's in his 18th season, right?
I think this is 20th.
That's
Yeah, because he
crazy.
came in when he was 18, and he's 38 now. So yeah, I think this is 20th.
20th
I think
season.
03 he came in 03, right? Yep.
That's wild. That is wild.
I think Vince Carter
Like,
played till he was 41 or something. Robert Parrish played the 41. Kareem played the 41 or something, 40. Um,
man, he has so much other things he could be spending his time with. It's silly. He is literally trying to just chase records and shit.
yeah, well, I mean, I understand it now. At this point, he done broke the points record. Every point he get, he's breaking the record, obviously. Um, so at this point, if it was me, I'll probably push it. Maybe, depending upon what I'm saying, how bad I'm looking, to the point to where I probably played the most games in NBA history.
He's already played the most minutes and stuff like that, dude. So it's like I don't understand
I
what
mean, the
what
most
else he's
games.
doing it for.
I mean, I don't. I mean, he said he want to play with Bronny. So if Bronny can come out next year after his rookie year, I mean his freshman year, then he might get that chance to play with Bronny. You know,
I just don't think Bronny's that good, man.
no, I don't think he's that good either. But from what I've seen, I've just seen highlights. I ain't seen the actual game, but he looked like he can stroke that thing. He can be a shooter somewhere, and maybe be a point guard. And I don't know. Um, but if you get the right team, maybe he could be a little point guard, and not really do much, but just be, but a point guard, so to speak. Or it might just be a thing where they come as a package deal. I think some teams will take that deal regardless of where LeBron is and where he's at. I think some people would take that deal and just to have the two on the court at the same time, to have the two, um, And I ain't gonna lie, I would like to see that. I'd like to see him play with his son. You know what I'm saying? And I think it'll be obviously it'll be historic. Um, but I think if that has, I think some team will do it. Now will either one of them start? I have no clue. LeBron, probably need to come off the bench by then. Because if he spend 2 years, at least 2 years in college, then he comes out. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he gonna need to spend. I mean, really, he might not never be NBA ready, but he might need to spend at least 2 years in college. Ain't no way in hell he gonna spend 4 years in college and come out and play with LeBron. That ain't gonna happen. LeBron gonna have to retire by then.
It it just depends. What do you want him to come out? What do you want him to come out as? Do you want to have him come out as a guy that they're going to project, with some NBA training and coaching can be, a focal point of a championship team, or do you want him to come out and just be another role player? Yeah, you know what I mean? Because like if you have him come out right away, I think he just turns into a role player. If you can let him develop his offensive game, because he's already pretty good on defense. If you can let him like grow a couple of inches and like find his game in a sense, in my opinion, and like kind of find how he wants to dominate, I think he can be a special guard because he can shoot really well. But I think you got to let him kind of develop into what he's going to be first before you get him into the NBA, in my opinion.
I agree 100%, but I just don't think LeBron has the time to do that. Not if he's going to um, go out playing decent. Because that's going to take, in my opinion, that's going to take a full 3 to 4 years to happen. What you're saying, and at
Yeah,
that
like you
time,
got to think
LeBron,
he's going to be playing college basketball at USC. He's going to be playing UCLA in the Pac-12. Pac-12 plays pretty good basketball. I mean, he's going to have some pretty good competition. He's going to be playing against NBA talent. So it's like you're going to see what he's made of. And, I just haven't seen anything to where I'm like, okay, he's going to be able to step on the NBA floor and dominate. He's going to look good, don't get me wrong, but, you know, are there guys that are going to be better than him that have been in college for like 4 years? I think so.
yeah, Sin Politics say hi, yo
What's
brother,
up,
how y'all?
brother?
How's it going? Going good, Cole. About to get off this thing in a minute, but we end up starting talking about LeBron. Um, and I don't know. I mean, I think his game is very basic. He can shoot that thing. He got hops. Um, and I mean, the way the NBA is played right now, he probably could just come into the NBA right now. To be honest, it is, but come into the NBA right now and be successful right off bat, no. I think for him to come into the NBA, best case scenario, 2 years of college to develop himself, and like you're talking about, I think so. But obviously, his parents, his mom, his dad, he himself now has the money um, to hire coaches, which I'm pretty sure they've already done at one point, and probably still has. Good to see y'all putting in that work, yes sir. Um, to develop his game, the
Yeah.
I think it has to come down to where you're just playing basketball now. You just have to play basketball and do what they're teaching you. I mean, from the time this boy put a ball in his hand, he's had those coaches
But
jumping,
who's his
training.
best coach at USC? You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't really get it. Like if I'm LeBron and like I'm his mom, right? And she says she wants him to go somewhere where he can get a good education, whatever, and just be a college student. Then why don't you send him to a school where he can be developed on the court, but also get that good education? Like to me, the USC thing just doesn't make sense. And that's why I think if going to USC, it's going to be a one and done. But I don't see him being able to do that unless he averages at least 13 to 14 points per game. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say 13 to 15. Yeah. Um.
and
Yeah, I
then he
think
has
he
to
should have
have
went
like
to
5 rebounds and like 6 assists, like, and shoot like at least 40% from the three,
and do
you
good in the
know.
tournament.
Yeah, no, seriously, because it's a long shot, and going to USC, if he doesn't go after 1 year, I think he'll be there for four.
Because if you think about it, D Wade's son, he went. I don't, did he go to the G League or something?
Still
Which,
in the G League.
yeah, they should have let that boy just should have went to college. I don't know. Now that's different when with what Dwayne Wade then I assume we're trying to do. Just put the man in. They're trying to, I guess, make him his own money. I don't know what they're trying to do. I would have let that boy go to college, let him stay in college for 4 years, and then come out.
I mean, he's being developed into something, I guess. Like I seen him like through son. He's grown a little bit, D Wade's son, but I do agree with you. Like, let these kids go. Like, let Bronny go to Duke and for 4 years, and I guarantee he's gonna come out a better basketball player. You
Oh
know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
definitely.
Like, or go like go to Villanova or Gonzaga, or, Kansas, like
Basketball.
a true basketball school with good education. It's just to me, if I to me, if LeBron's playing NBA in the NBA right now for the wrong reasons. If you're playing to play with your son, then that's just a waste of time.
That's in politics. Say we've had a few really good players benefit recently staying in college for 2+ years, and I think the narrative is still a little dead.
Yeah,
What
no,
narrative?
and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Staying 2+ years, I think he
Yeah,
should.
me either.
I think
And that's why I was saying I think Bronny has to stay at least 2 years. But then he didn't go to a basketball school. And I'm not saying that whoever the coach is over there at USC can't give him the rest of the fundamentals, but I believe LeBron has paid for this young man to have coaching, all the coaching, training, and everything he's needed since he's put a basketball in his hand. So I don't, unless he has some special things he's gonna teach him over there. At any school, really, he's probably not gonna get better. Um,
the bag just
but
didn't seem
he
pretty
definitely
good to
should have
me.
went to a Duke or North Carolina or Gonzaga, like them basketball schools, like you say. Definitely.
Well, yeah, he should have. I don't know. I get staying in California. Even UCLA right now,
Yeah.
is
LA. Yep.
is the whole UConn. You could have went to UConn. I mean, that whole just USC thing is just puzzling. You know,
Well, I'm assuming USC. I don't know exactly where it's at. That's University of Southern California. So I'm assuming
Southern
they live.
Cal.
Is that close to LA?
Yeah, I think it's in the middle of LA.
Yeah. So I mean, that's probably why.
Hmm.
Somewhere close to home. The narrative of players having to bounce after 1 or 2 years, one and done, actually have a little, but if a negative connotation. Yeah, yeah. That I think Kentucky proved that when they had all them guys, Noel's New Orleans, whatever his name was, one and duns, and a lot of them. Kentucky did that for a hot little minute, and a lot of them guys weren't no good. But some of
Well,
them
because
made it.
they didn't get proper coaching that they
Yeah, I
needed to
mean,
fucking
you
actually
can't
do what they
really
need
in
to
one
do.
year. You go from 18 years old high school, now you in college, you're gonna play in the Final Four, now you done and gone to the NBA. Yeah, that shit ain't happening.
Well, some
Yeah,
guys can do it, and then other guys don't have the NBA body or game to like go into the NBA and do what they need to do. Like some
yeah.
guys should stay in college 2 or 3 years. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's his point, and I agree 100%. I mean, there's
Like
very
there's
few
some
guys
guys
that are built like LeBron, ready to go. It just don't happen that
like
often.
there's some guys that are in the McDonald's All American game just based off projection
Yeah,
of what they're gonna do, and then some guys don't ever end up doing it. But it's a lot of projection, you know. Like Bronny got in at the last minute to the McDonald's game this year,
yep, yep. And that's
but
another thing
the
that
three
just
was
proves
bullshit.
that he probably isn't gonna be ready unless he make a milestone of a jump in his abilities this year. And then some
Like we
people,
don't know what he's gonna be yet, bro. He doesn't have a true game yet. Like we haven't seen what he will do. Like is he just gonna be a catch and shoot role player and defensive guy, or is he gonna be like that explosive jumper that we saw over the summer?
yeah, don't know. You gotta figure out first of all what team gonna draft will draft him. I think a team will take a chance though. I think some team will take a chance to put butts in the seats, to put money in their in their pocket, so to speak. I think a team will take a chance. Maybe a lower market team, but I think a team would take a chance to have him and LeBron on the team. And I ain't gonna lie, if it was me, I might be the one to take that chance.
I don't know if I want to take that chance, man. I just, I mean, I don't know. He's a solid player. He'll be a solid NBA player.
Did y'all see what the NCAA said about Florida? I
NAACP.
NAACP, what the NAACP said about it. I didn't see it. Must have
They said
something to do
it's
with
unsafe. It's unsafe for Black people and LGBTQT or something like that.
y'all gonna say it must have something to do with something DeSantis said or something.
Yeah, man. I mean, basically, media is basically making DeSantis look like a tyrant because they're going to push Trump into the candidates, the Republican spot, and then so they can just basically have Biden win by just putting
Yeah,
Trump up again. At least
yeah.
that's what it looks like to me. Because I just don't understand how Florida's racist all
He's
of a
on
sudden.
point. I think I seen something about that the other day, but I ain't really paid enough attention to it. I think it's around the time when Dwayne Wade said he was moving out of Florida. But this may be more recent than that came out with the NCAACP. I'm not sure, but yeah, you
Dwayne
probably
Wade
right.
had to move out of Florida, man. He had no choice.
He could have stayed in
Dwayne Wade
Florida.
was
What you mean? He
nah,
missed
man.
Miami. The boys down there in
Nah,
Miami.
man. Ever since he married Gabrielle Union, he ain't been Mr. Miami. He been Mr. Union.
Yeah.
Yeah, this just happened. Like I saw this article about the NWCP, ACP, and LGBTQ. Um, basically saying it's not safe for either communities. It's just
Well, I
weird.
mean, I need to understand what they mean by not safe. Are people attacking them or what? I haven't heard of any stories of people being attacked, like physically attacked. I mean, obviously,
They're
when
saying
I
it's
grew up,
racist and prejudiced, basically.
some people would pick on the LGBTQ community people, and stuff like that. Is it but I'm pretty sure a lot of them are used to it, and I could be wrong. Not trying to be insensitive, but I think a lot of them are used to it by now anyway. So is it something different than what I'm thinking, or what? 'Cause I don't know.
The problem is you just don't know nowadays what is what. If I'm being 100% honest, like who knows? It could be the same stuff. It could be different stuff. I mean, I don't think it even really matters nowadays. You know,
I mean, we were having a debate in our text message group, and about the books and all that stuff being taken down. And I agree with taking down the books that, what I'm saying, portray some of the LGBTQ stuff. In my opinion, that's just my opinion, people. But now if you're taking down books for whatever reason, they're supposedly taking down Rosa Parks books. That I don't understand, unless there's something in there that I don't know I missed. That part I don't understand. So I guess I need to read a little bit more into it to have more insight on what's actually going on. But
Rosa Parks. What do you mean? The fake protesters?
according to Paul, they're taking Rosa Parks books out of the libraries at the schools. Rosa Parks, when she did the bus boycott.
Well, because they're putting in that real person who did it first into the actual history.
I ain't seen what Claudette Colvin. That'll be amazing if they did, but I didn't see that nowhere.
Yeah, they holding it down for the sister, man. They about to put her in there.
That'll be. I mean, that would be amazing if they did that. But I don't think Rosa Parks should be taken out. Even if they added her to it, they need to add her to it, in my opinion, but not take her out.
All
But
right, Ken, you're asking for a lot now. You're asking
yeah,
for
I
a
know.
lot. These people didn't even want to free us from being slaves. Come on now.
So I don't know what's what. So I probably need to read a little bit more into it to see what's what. But things I've seen about the things I agree with because they're intermingling the LGBTQ movement with civil rights and black movement, and to me that doesn't supposed to mix. They have their own. Um,
I don't like the weaponization of it. And I'm not saying that the just causes do it. What I'm saying is like it's weaponized for political use. Um, I think that's the bullshit part of it for me. Uh, I just don't like that. I think that's just it's foul and it's dangerous because people who live that lifestyle, you're now putting in harm's way because you want to basically use it to attack people. So now people are very defensive when it comes to stuff like that, and they're just completely turned off by it. So instead of doing a lot of good, you do a lot of harm, you know. And I'm not saying that, you know, there are people, everybody does it, but, there's a big political movement that definitely takes advantage of that shit, and it's just not cool.
yeah, so it's impossible to say it's not a fake protest. I guess he was saying he was agreeing with me, correct, Deuces on that on his speaking fuckery.
What do you
Tell
mean
him to
fake
cut
protest?
the on. He's talking crazy,
What do you mean fake protest?
huh?
What do you mean by fake protest?
That part I don't know. Hungry man. Um,
Oh, I don't know why I said fake protest, but no, I'm saying like it's just people people use little like social media stuff to spark outrage to then start like political movement, and they
yeah, I mean,
hijack racism and all that shit to do it.
yeah, I think that's true, and I think, but that's part of why social media can be good and bad. Um, oh, he said you call Rosa Parks stuff fake protest. That's false. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they can't take Rosa Parks out. I've even said, talked about it to where I believe Claudette Colvin should get credit, should get some credit. I don't think they should take Rosa Parks out of the movement or whatever the case may be. I don't know why they're trying to do that. From what I've heard, I don't know what the truth is, but that's just what.
The only reason why they used Rosa Parks is because they thought she would look more appealing to the masses.
Well, yeah, she was a Southern activist. Also, she was part of the Southern Christian something movement with Dr. Martin Luther King, and she was already an activist, an older person, in age. So I understand why they use her, but I don't understand why they don't give this lady some credit. He said that I said take Rosa Parks out the book, but it's all good. Well, I don't know if I don't remember saying that, but if I did, I take it back. Real good now. It sounds like. Yeah, I mean, I probably just pissed off and got emotional or something. But no, I don't think they should take Rosa Parks out. Um, but I just feel like they got to give that lady some credit. They got to give her some credit, some kind of way. But I don't think that's happening anytime soon. Anyway, maybe it'll be something when she pass away. You know what I'm saying? They'll give her some credit.
Well, they're saying, I mean, Paul basically tries to talk about how they want to take critical race theory out of schools and stuff. Um, for me personally, it just depends what exactly they're upset about. You know, like
Yeah,
what exactly is the content that they don't want to speak on.
yeah. I'll be honest. I agree. They'll definitely make our history more accurate and give all the heroes credit. Um, I agree. To be honest, I don't even know much about the don't say gay bill and the critical race theory thing. Um, I haven't really looked into. We talked about it briefly, but I haven't really looked it up. Um, so to be honest, I don't know much about it really to speak on it too much. I should look it. I should have been looked it. I meant to, but for whatever reason, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? All good.
Why don't you pull up a little piece of it then that just goes over like the main points?
Yeah, because I'm about ready to go to sleep.
Go to Fox. Get it from Fox.
They remove some sort of African study out of schools. I need to figure out the extent though. Yeah,
They want to do what?
he said
Any
since policy
African?
says they remove some sort of African studies out of schools. And he said he needs to figure out the extent though. Yeah, but I might have
So
to
is the
go on.
Holocaust? Is the Holocaust still in there?
I might have to go on and do an actual show on it. You know what I'm saying? And see see what I can figure out.
I mean,
Because
yeah,
I
I'm
think
interested.
for me personally, if you're teaching, the LGBTQ stuff in school, to me that's not a place for that to be taught. There's videos of elementary school kids with these people in their classroom and they're twerking, barely got on clothes, and that's not right from that standpoint or a heterosexual standpoint. That flat out is stupid, and I don't think any of that should be taught in school. Um, so like I say, I don't want to go too much into it because I don't know much about it. Part of the Santos recent bill was removing AP African Studies from universities. I don't know if that means they don't offer it at all. Yeah, I seen from what I've seen. Once again, this is without much study to it. From what I've heard, he removed it um because it intertwined with the LGBTQ community stuff. And I do know from the civil rights movement, um, 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 from civil rights, other things got intertwined with civil rights and actually messed it all up. To be honest, from what they were actually trying to do. Kent, why you acting scared on your channel? I'm not acting scared. I said I'll look into it and do a show about it because I don't want to be sitting up here talking stupid and not knowing what the hell I'm talking about.
It is interesting though. I
Cool.
mean, I wonder how those two intertwine.
Yeah, I know. Even right now with BLM and LGBTQ stuff, they have intertwined those things. Um,
Really?
so dude's hitting us with the hezzy right now too. What's up, Mike?
I mean, Kent just dropped a bomb after bomb. I mean, just I'm soaking it all in. So you're saying that Beyond was is intertwined with, and then
Yeah,
the
they intertwined the
anti-racist Black
BLM.
movement,
They got
equality
BLM,
also.
and then they've intertwined it because even at work, even at my when me and Big Baby used to work together,
Mm,
they had some mess with that BLM mixed with that together, and I was like, come on, man. Um,
okay.
but the thing is, BLM, if done right, which I don't agree with BLM, um, but they have what they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Then the LGBTQ, they already have everything. What else do they need? That's where I
Love you
get
too,
confused
baby.
because
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, I'm very confused because Black people have been fighting for these rights for about 800 years. So I'm trying to figure out how LGBTQ just comes in and attaches themselves to something that has been an ongoing trend. Now, I'm all for equality for everybody, right?
yeah,
And certain things have to make sense, and some things don't.
yeah, they have everything,
Um,
but they're missing.
I mean,
I mean, LGBT, the people can get married. They can marry each other. That was the biggest thing because couples, same sex couples would be together, but they couldn't get the benefits of, what I'm saying, like my wife can get my benefits of the health insurance. You know what I'm saying? All those different things that now that they can get. What am I missing? Maybe I am missing something. I'll agree, but I don't know what I'm missing. That they need to be fighting for all this stuff. They have laws against.
well, it's not fighting about anything. It's really trying to push like information to children, and I'm very confused on why that is such a big thing. Like,
You say way off. When does advocacy become obsolete? Why does representation scare people so much? Never a bad thing. Why? But why
representation
do
is
they
not
have
a
to hang
bad
on the
thing.
coattail of BLM? Once again, I don't agree with BLM, but why do they have to hang on someone's coattail? Why can't they just be out there like they always have been, doing their own thing? They got their own rights to get married. Um,
It gets
and they
weird
have
because
representation.
the focus
I'm
of
just
like shows and stuff for like children and like adolescent teens, um, the focus was never social politics and like sexual content and stuff like that.
exactly,
And that is the whole movement right now that you see behind all that. I don't care what people do. Most people don't care if you get married. People don't care if you have a dick and you want to dress like a girl. People don't care whatever you want to do. You can do whatever you want. People don't care.
exactly,
And that was the whole point of the movement. This whole like representation and inclusivity shit. That's just a way of being able to manipulate and then now push agendas out there and push narratives out there and be able to shun people and be able to show kids pornographic shit and think it's okay. Like, it's not ever okay to show kids like sexual shit and just be like, oh, they need to know the difference and what's going on. They need to. This is not even a proven science yet. This hasn't been accepted by the scientific committee yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is something that is fairly even new, to society just over the last like 2 or 3 years. This has really taken off. So,
yeah. For
and it's
me,
we
for me,
and it's something that has actually been going on since like the early 2000s, late '90s, but it's like just now really like making mainstream news, man. Like seriously, like Flame was talking about she was doing this transgender thing for like, you
Who?
know, Flame. She's a transgender, and she was on Riza Islam's podcast or whatever, and you know what I'm saying, she was talking about she's been a transgender for like 20 years or something, you know what I mean, and like it wasn't even something that was really talked about, and people did it back then, but now all of a sudden it's like this political thing where it's something that can be argued politically and you can get votes from it. So now it's pushed on like mainstream media.
Yeah, at the end
And
of the day, my thing has always been Big Baby or anybody else can attest to this. Leave the damn kids alone. Leave the kids alone. When they become adults, if they want to change their sex, if they want whatever they want to do, ain't got nothing to do with me. Leave me alone too. This man tripping. How much you went on a Pluto rocket ship, but just leave the kids alone. That's my biggest thing. I don't. You
you
you can
got
you
to.
can you can try to attract me. I mean, I'm old enough and I'm in, you know, to where it's not going to affect me. I can care less, But when you're impressioning on young children who are like in Dwayne Wade, like 3 5 years, come on, man, like stop it, like that's too much. And like I say, there's videos of these people twerking, dancing half naked, literally in a classroom full of kids, and we're talking kids, and that's just dead wrong, and that's wrong on the heterosexual side and the other side. Um, leave the kids alone.
Right.
Let adults. You know what I'm saying? What the kids or trans have to do with the argument? That's part of what I've been talking about. I'll send you the videos if you want them, where you got the trans community or whatever you want to call them, twerking in front of kids in classrooms. The shit ain't right. It just isn't right. And kids at these parades, that ain't right. It just isn't right because these people are half naked. Um, y'all straw man the whole situation. You love that little phrase, that straw man. That's your
I mean,
thing.
it's
That's your
not
go.
about straw man anything. It's just about being able to call a spade, man. Like call a spade. Like if you saw a bunch of bitches twerking in front of kids, that should be in a strip club, like you'd be like, yeah, that's not right. It's like
Where
call
adults
a
can go
spade.
to.
You know, I mean,
That's a location where adults
having
can go.
having
They can't-
pictures in school where it shows two kids giving fellatio, and
and
the
teaching
kid
you
has
how.
to. Yeah, it's just like, bro, why does the kid have to fucking confuse himself with that? He wants to play with GI Joes and fucking action figures, like my nigga. Like he wants to go play fucking Super Splash Brothers, you know what I'm saying, or fucking go Beyblade or something. I don't know what the fuck kids do nowadays, but
Yeah.
it's like they want to do kid shit. Like, why the fuck do you have to put all this adult shit in their face?
Oh,
It
you
doesn't make
say
sense.
you're judging the LGBT community based off the worst possible out outliner example.
No, I'm
What does that
not.
have to do with representation of where we started? It is not.
I
It's
said
common. It's a common thing.
weaponization. Weaponization is what I said. So this
It
is
is.
what I'm speaking on. This is the
This stuff is
weaponization I
common
speak
now,
of.
and
I
LGBT
don't like it.
have the same rights or whatever. They do have the
I
same right.
don't like
I mean,
the
me as
weaponization.
a heterosexual man or whatever, you're not gonna. I said um there shouldn't be anybody, heterosexual or not, going into these classrooms twerking for kids. Shouldn't happen. Have you listened to some of these kids talk in Congress about the books that they're reading? They make them stop reading the books because they're so doggone graphic and whatever. They talked about, like, this stuff is common now. It's not even hidden anymore. It is pretty common. You just don't see it because you just like whatever to it. You don't mind it, I guess. But it's pretty common.
No, listen, man. Like you can't like this is what I speak on when I say weaponization. You know, like you're literally weaponizing it. You're using it what it's not supposed to be meant for all this extra shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't make sense why it has to involve kids. You know,
Well, they know what they're doing. They're actually targeting the kids for the as they come up. They are the next um, voters, the next set of politicians, and all that good stuff. They know what they're doing. That's why they're targeting. In my opinion, that's where they're targeting the kids.
well, because if you think about it, really, right, when you think about this, when it comes to the kid aspect, um, what exactly, like kids, like I said, like kids don't even understand or comprehend that kind of stuff. So the whole point of you think saying like, oh, kids need representation and they need to feel like they belong. It's like, okay, that's true, but what does sexual content have to do with that?
Yeah,
A kid ain't thinking about how he was brought here, right? A kid is not wondering, oh, how they come into this world. A kid's not wondering what that thud is in the nighttime when mom and dad go to sleep. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not on their mind. You know what I'm saying? So it's like to me when I hear stuff like that, I'm just like that doesn't register.
so we got away from the initial topic. You let Deuce take you to Uranus.
No,
But yeah,
bro,
man, you know
it's the
what?
original topic. It's the weaponization of, you know what I'm saying, the LGBTQT. I don't think the movement is bad. I think the political aspect that attacks people and cancels people, you know, that weapon is vicious and it eats people up.
Yeah, I'm actually have to do a show on this ham hock face. Sitting politics. Since you say I'm scared of it, I'm scared. I ain't scared of nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big dog. Big dog. Oh. No, but yeah, I'm gonna have to jump off this thing, man. I gotta go to work. But definitely appreciate you jumping on though.
Have a good one, brother. Yeah, it was fun, man.
All right, then, sir. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow night, halftime. See them Lakers. I'm gonna have my broom with me.
We catching that
Hopefully,
dub
the Lakers.
tomorrow, man.
Huh?
We catching that dub tomorrow.
Idell. Weaponization was not the original topic, but like that word, LOL. But yeah, man, let me
Love
jump
it.
off this thing. You gonna have me
All right,
going another
one.
3 hours. All right, Cole. Y'all know how we end this thing like this.
I'm never seen with the one, and I'm not rapping for fun. I'm not popping with guns, I just pop it with puns. I hang with Jesus the Son, the devil trying to be done. It was a 3-on-1, the lightning crashed like thunder. You gon' burn and live right under. You just cannot win this, cause it is finished. Look, draining my life, then God replenish. Say you were God, you should've stayed in your place. But that's not the case, so clean your mouth out. I'm not talking toothpaste. Look, in present tense, I'm making the ground shook. Got verses after verses, but I'm missing a hook. Have you ever read his book? Read a rainbow, go ahead and take a look. Villain bars just call me alcoholic cook. Spitting like a pro, but I'm really just a rookie. I got me a weapon and it ain't got no steel, straight leather. And this is how it feels to spit something real, make these demons squeal. High pitch, false chord inserted right here. On the forehead got a seal, yelling to you dogs and the make you all heal. When the underbelly's yellow like button and appeals. Try your best not to get caught up in your feels. Barking at you big like I'm trying to sign a deal. Guess you got a line, but you're missing all the reels. Then some fake people come and they'll just appear. Y'all finna fill them with God fear and kind of fear. Yeah, I gotta stop this. I'm feeling nauseous. Getting sick of this flow, I keep on coughing. I got a feeling we're old like Tupac and Biggie in the prime of hip-hop and these coffins. On that Brooklyn Bowl, spitting at him with acrylic. Gotta paint a picture and rate him like man feeling. Stay a fan, you own my ceiling. Jesus died, but he is risen. A rock can't stop my God, right. He's not in the tomb, he's gone.
believe in that stuff they do.
Hello?
Jesus was just Jesus. He wasn't a liberal and he wasn't a conservative. He was just himself. The greatest that'll ever do it. No one else. Yeah. Y'all hear it?
Nah.
The greatest that'll ever do it. No one
It
else.
might blow up.
That's all Jesus.
Like I don't know, but it might.
Greatest that'll never do it. Never make a mistake. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Miami make a part two.
This guy got me going crazy on the mic. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna be out of here. We'll see y'all back tomorrow night, halftime of the Lakers and Nuggets game. Yeah.